Hey, guys.
Hey, Rich.
Hey, kids.
Rich.
It's reunion week in the National Football League.
I know, right?
Well, I went to a reunion, so I love this.
It's just like that.
I'm into this.
You know
Rich.
what? You would. I think you would love reunions. You're the guy who just says, "Hey, you look great. Hey, do you remember me?"
He went to his
here.
40th. You were
That's
here.
right. You
That's
weren't
what it
here.
was
I went to my 40th
Last
high
weekend,
school.
it was his 40th.
That's why I'm into this.
Wow.
I'm into the. I like what you got.
You
I
like
where
reunions,
I like
huh?
where you're
That
going.
guy.
This is why I like.
Who
I'm
looked
the
the
reunion
best?
guy.
Who looked the best at your 40th
Mike
reunion?
did.
Well, I
What
had
you talking
Kangol.
about?
I was wearing a white
Well,
Kangol.
I'll tell you
Come on.
what. It all starts tonight. Week 7 is the reunion week in the National Football League. It all starts tonight. Sean Payton and the Broncos are in New Orleans. And in case anybody forgets what Sean Payton looked like as the head coach of the Saints, there he is, right there. Oh, no, wait a minute. No, that was Kevin James.
Oh, gotta get those guys
Well, there's
confused.
Calvin Johnson.
No,
and
when he was doing
Jeff Hardy and Marty
youth football.
Jeff Hardy.
But we all remember Sean Payton, man, he showed up.
Yeah.
He showed up when Katrina damn near blew the city off the map.
Yeah.
And then the Saints got him and Drew Brees cooking, and then he won the Super Bowl in 2009. And I guess we can put it to the test that if he returns to New Orleans, he will never have to pay for a meal. I'm wondering what the reception tonight will be on Prime Video, which you can watch it right here on Roku through our portal here. And the Saints, once upon a time, 2-0, and guess what? They haven't won a game since, and they're 2-4. And Derek Carr is hurt, and Chris Olave is hurt, and Raheed Shaheed is out for the foreseeable future.
Sheesh.
And the defense just got kind of lit by Tampa, and the Saints are desperate for a win, and the Broncos are coming off of getting punked at home by Jim Harbaugh, and this is a big one for both teams. They need it. They can use it. Maybe the Saints a little bit more because starting 2-0 and being the best thing since sliced bread and 91 points, and everybody's talking about Clint Kubiak, 91 points in 2 games. Who needs Sean Payton around here? Well, Sean Payton's coming back tonight, and he wants a win in a short week. And that's one reunion game. And another reunion game that's going down this week. This is the week. I wonder if they did this on purpose because they knew Saquon was a member of the Eagles when the schedule came out. Did they put Sean Payton back in New Orleans to start the week, knowing that Saquon would go to New Jersey to go back to the Giants later in the week?
I love that.
They do that?
They definitely do. Have themes to games.
I'm
You know
wondering
what I mean?
if they really did figure out. Let's send Saquon back to the Giants after Sean Payton revisits New Orleans. That's a big one. Giants coming off of a stinging, nationally televised loss against Cincinnati after coming up with a big win in Seattle, and the Eagles. I mean, talk about. A win is usually the best deodorant, and it normally changes moods, but not in Philadelphia. Normally, again, the behavior that Nick Sirianni has apologized for not once but twice since displaying it in the final throes of a win against Cleveland at home.
But a win, a game they won.
I was saying, normally that behavior gets excused. Well, that's just Nick being Nick. And when they lose, it's like that is not the comportment you want to see from your CEO of your on-field organization, He's shaving his head like Private Pile, as I said, and then barking at some of the fans, and so normally that behavior gets excused in a win, but in a loss is normally where you're held to account to it, and he's held to account after a win, and that's how they go into the Giants. And Saquon didn't have much of a game against Cleveland. It was easily his least productive performance as an Eagle. So there's that. And then talk about a reunion game. The last game of last year. The league put the Kansas City Chiefs in San Francisco on Sunday. They are reuniting. And
it feels so good.
Well, it's entirely possible because the Lions play the Vikings earlier in the day. It's entirely possible that when the Chiefs take the field, they are the last remaining undefeated team in the National Football League, or they're going to try and match the Vikings at 6-0. And I'll tell you, the Niners are rooting for the Lions, I would think, because the Niners have already lost to the Vikings, and the Niners do have the Lions ahead of them. after their bye, when they're hoping to get some of their players back, I mean, they could be down to their third string running back. Isaac Guerrero is a name that might have been picked up on many fantasy waiver wires this week. He might be playing in place of Jordan Mason, who's playing in place of Christian McCaffrey, and Ricky Pearsall might see his first action, and they may need him because of all the other wide receivers who are banged up there. And the Chiefs are coming in off a bye, and, I am mandated. They would take my broadcasting card away if I did not mention how good Andy Reid is coming off of a bye week.
By the way, we can't have you get your card taken away.
I know that. This just in, Andy Reid is really good after a bye week.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs are coming off of a bye and maybe a little healthier themselves. And
21-4 after a bye
Thank
week.
you, sir.
I was about to say, Chris, is this when we ask how
8-3 with the Chiefs.
And by the way, he's not, it's not 25 years of coaching. There used to be, a couple buys, right? Way back in the day when he was with the Philadelphia Eagles, Andy Reid. And so that's a reunion game. And then the league kind of stepped in this one because when the Jets were given a Week 7 game, certainly on Sunday night in Pittsburgh, they had no idea that this would be the game that Davante Adams would be reunited with Aaron Rodgers. But such is the case. And it's entirely possible that Russell Wilson might be reunited with a starting job.
Ooh.
How about that? And we'll talk about that with Jerry Dulac from Pittsburgh in a second. But again, I know I've kind of harped on this in a way, and this is nothing to do with me and the Jets here. It's just amazing when you get two of the best to have ever done it together go their separate ways to two different organizations and then come back together where one of them is already playing. Unreal. And sure enough, it's turning into a little bit of a sitcom right now because Aaron Rodgers is a roommate, as he described yesterday, and how Adams came into town and where he is staying while he's in town at this point.
It was frustrating Monday night, but it really my left flew us moment, call to hear his voice Monday night. Well, it was actually Tuesday morning because it was almost 1 o'clock. And I got to see him on Tuesday, yesterday. And then he's staying with me for the short term, so went right into some of the signals, and he was about 95%. His knowledge of the game is pretty extensive. Obviously, looks like he's drinking the elixir from the fountain of youth as I watch some of his clips. It's been a strange 24 hours, but really fun to see my friend.
He's staying with him. By the way, mellifluous, big word alert.
Yeah, right.
No idea.
Normally it is associated with a voice, not a moment, but I guess this was his point, is that he heard his voice. That was the moment. Mellifluous. By the way, that's a word that's been ascribed to my voice many times. Isn't that correct, TJ?
Sweet or musical, pleasant to hear.
Well, he's got to be psyched and
the voice
jacked
was
up
mellifluous and smooth.
because they not to go all frozen on you here. But they finished each other's sentences.
Sentences
or sandwiches.
That's what I was gonna say.
Hey,
look at you,
jinx again. All right.
Yo, my Pepsi.
Brockman gets that now.
Rich and I have toddlers.
Yeah, back in the day when we started, you made fun of me. But look who's all grown up.
Yeah.
Look who knows the Frozen soundtrack now, huh?
I mean, it's a pretty good movie.
This
is what Davante Adams was saying about Rodgers.
Well, I don't know yet. We haven't played yet, so I don't know. He might not be as good as he used to be, so we'll see. But no, serious. I mean, it's great just being back, being able to be with my guy. Like, first and foremost, just being able to spend time with him every day again is something that I put a lot of value on. So just having his company, but obviously having him as my quarterback again. I mean, he was part of why I am who I am and why I turned into the player, whether it's the cerebral approach, it's the attention to detail, just learning from him and watching him operate and just how dialed in he is at all times. I feel like that has a lot to do with how I ultimately ended up being kind of functioning the way I do as a player.
Can't believe it's happened, man. It's kind of wild. There he is standing in front of the Jets, step and repeat, talking about being with Aaron Rodgers. They pulled it off. It actually happened. And it's going to go down against the Steelers in a must-have game for the Jets, going down to fall to 2-5, having already lost to Denver, and then maybe now losing to, 2-5, they would have lost to Pittsburgh. These are two teams they might have to chase down in a wild card race if neither of those teams win their divisions. And this is big. So we have a poll question out, right?
Yeah, put it out there, Rich. It's a reunion weekend. Which one are you most looking forward to this week? Rodgers and Davante Adams, the Chiefs versus the 49ers, Saquon back against the Giants, or tonight, Sean Payton against the Saints.
So go to @Rich Eisen Show and vote because there's only 4. Couldn't fit this reunion. That's going down across the pond, as a matter of fact. Mac Jones and the Patriots.
Who?
So Mac Jones, yeah.
By the way, Mac Jones might actually get in the
Stop
game
it.
on Sunday.
Stop it. Well, I mean, for the Jaguars, I hope it says a victory formation for the Jaguars' sake.
Drake May lays a 50 burger on him.
Oh my God, this guy's feeling so good about himself.
He really is.
All right, let's take a break.
By the way, before we go, do you think that it's going to be hard for Davante go from a crib with a golf course and a Taco Bell to just like a regular apartment?
I have a feeling if there's anybody in New Jersey who could make a Taco Bell appear in his house overnight, I think it's his current roommate. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.